A little bit of an update on this reinvent of this lawn suit. That was too tight around the hips and certain problems with the trimmings and laces and so on. So what I've done is I've reinvented the border, and I took away the old lace because I didn't see that the colors were really doing anything for the outfit. And since we're giving this a total new look, I wanted to sort of highlight it as much as possible. Now on the backing of it, I've used the similar fabric and I've doubled it up so that it adds weight to the garment. So to make the border, basically it's got the old existing panel, and now there was a lot of this was almost like an A-line prior to this, and I've done nothing else to it except for pulled this in the right directions and then pressed it, and by just pressing it, it's taken out actually the A-line out of the dress and it's made it into a normal kameez. And this is the backing that I'm going to use. So just a simple seam on top, and then turn it over, press it, seam over onto the lace to make it look like this, like the border. And what I'm going to do now, I've attached the pieces to the kameez, and I'm going to do an invisible hem trim where I'm going to attach first of all I'm going to attach the right sides together, and then on from the inside, because this is like an open spaced out thing, what I'm going to do then is to do an inside seam, like an invisible seam, and that will give us no seam on the top and hidden away border. So these pieces being attached on the sides is sort of given the kameez a bit of a different look. The sleeves, I've actually made the trimmings for the sleeves as well. Now the sleeve shape was all cut out wrong, so what I did was I slightly cut this down because it had no cap on the sleeve, and when it has no cap, what basically happens is it pulls on the shoulder area. So I've created like a cap there, and I've cut 2 additional pieces which I'm going to attach on the sides so that that's on the inside of the sleeve, and then just attach the border to the front of the sleeve, finishing it off. Now the sleeves, what I've done is I've attached all the trimmings and laces. I trim there, the lace there, I fixed the lace on, I've tied it in on the edges too. And then when I do the secondary seam, this will not rub against the skin there and it won't irritate, where in the past that was one of the most annoying things. So always when you're making the clothes, make sure that this area, the threads, metallic threads or the sequins are not rubbing against the skin, because that makes it very uncomfortable and non-wearable. And often what puts us off wearing certain clothes is the fact that they're just not, the comfort is not there. The look may be there, but the comfort's not there. And if the comfort is not there in the clothing, then I guarantee you won't wear them. You'd admire them in hanging in the wardrobe, but that's as far as it goes, because you will not get the wearability out of them. Now I'm going to finish all this off, all the trimmings and so on. And then for the jacks, I've chosen, it had a brown fabric on before, but I'm not going to go with the brown. I'm going to go with the green this time, and I'm just going to cut. These are just leftover pieces that I often, when I make the clothes, I have them left over, and then I just safeguard them because they always come very handy. And some colors are very, very hard to get, so pieces like this are very valuable in assisting us to make the most of our leftovers, really. And if you can economize, then by all means economize, and at the end of the day we're going to be questioned for all our wastefulness, and I tell you, I would not want to be questioned for my unnecessary wastefulness. Okay, so I'm going to join all these pieces up, and because tearing it gives it like a pulled effect, what you want to do is you want to press it before applying. Now I'm going to apply quite a wide joda finishing on the edge of the kameez, because what happens with a wide, it stops the kameez from, lawn has a tendency to shrink anyway. So you want to give, as long as it doesn't cause you, generally when you're wearing a garment, the most obvious place where it gives you uncomfort is around the chest area, around the belly, just under the armpits and so on, because when it's hot, those are the places where you tend to sweat a lot. So on the daman, if the kameez is made a little bit heavier, it's not going to make any difference. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it heavier in front of the sleeves. We're going to make it heavier on the daman, and we're going to make it heavier on the chak, so that the lawn, it can have its drop. Often, one of the biggest questions that I'm getting asked is, a lot of the suits that you're selling, are they cling on? Are they the clinging type? And clinging often happens because we don't do anything else to, we want the comfort, but then you have to overcome that comfort by adding something else onto it. You want it comfortable, but at the same time you want it wearable, and lawn has a tendency to stick. So to remove that, what are the solutions? And we have to look at options. So at Jan Sewing Solutions, we try and find as many solutions to our sewing problems as possible. That's just one of the solutions that I've come across, and obviously I'm sure if anybody's got any tips, then by all means pass them on, and I shall share those with more members, so that more people benefit from your experiences as well.